What's up, guys? It is the Sports Sir Bradley Walker. Welcome to the Walker Report, part of NGSC Sports. Sorry about that, guys. I had some interesting dinner, and my stomach is not cooperating with me, but I'm okay now. So, so
Alrighty.
how's everyone doing?
All right. Gentlemen.
Not too bad, not too bad.
There we go.
All right, so there's pretty good. There's a couple things, guys, I wanted to talk about, and then we can kind of talk about the Super Bowl and the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. I wanted to ask you guys, so as of late, Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed are both coming back to the PGA Tour. Now, they were both Live Tour players. Does the deal between the Live and PGA fall apart, or are we seeing the fall of the Live Tour?
I think we're seeing the whole of the Live Tour. You know, the thing is, when you have these rivalries now, well, I know you're a little bit younger than I am, but you got to think back to when we had the NHL and the WHA. Now, WHA was supposed to be the rival league, was, of the NHL. Those two merged, and WHA is now has 6 teams in the NHL. Same thing with the NBA and the ABA. ABA came in the late 60s to challenge the NBA. It wasn't really that successful to begin with, so the only way to say that was merging them. You know, every time you get these teams together, the other team, the other league, just falls. And this is just another prime example of what was so hyped up Live Tour, if you want to call it, just became a fad, and it's now, I think, in a serious jeopardy, and I think that's going to merge with the PGA. So I think we're seeing a quick rise and fall of this Live Tour.
Okay.
Don't take my word for it, but that's the way I see it.
Well, you still have some players that are still playing on the Live Tour. That are not.
I think this might be a clue that they might maybe they're right. Maybe we shouldn't have done this. Maybe we should reconsider and go back. Because it only takes one domino to fall, and all the rest are falling.
Yeah, because you still got Bryson DeChambeau. You still have why can't I think of his name right now?
Xander Schauffele.
Nah, Xander Schauffele's a PGA Tour guy. He's PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Let me look here. Not Rory McIlroy, because he's always been a PGA guy.
Finally won the Masters.
Let's see. Justin Thomas, no. He's from Spain. He's from Spain. I can't.
Justin.
He's, like I said, it's not Garcia. It's the guy that was Sergio.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott's Australian.
Yeah.
Why does his name escape me?
Justin Rose?
Justin Rose is English.
No.
Oh.
He's a PGA guy.
Not JJ Spawn.
No, he's from Spain.
No.
He's a famous golfer from Spain. Big guy too. He's not a small guy, and I can't think of his damn name. I'll have to look it up now. Let's see.
I got it.
Yes.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
John Ram? Sergio Garcia?
There you go. Thank you, John Rahm. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, John Rahm.
That's Rahm.
Cool. He's Rahm and DeChambeau are still kind of good players in their retrospect, so they're still on the Live Tour. But I think if you see those guys come back, I'm not gonna say a foregone conclusion that the Live Tour folds, but you're losing a lot of your big gun too.
The interesting thing, and I think what we're seeing is a reverse Netflix. 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, whenever Liv started,
Mm-hmm.
we all sat around here. This was before Alex was on the show and everything, but me, and Lou sat around here and talked about the PGA just biting the bullet and merging with Liv.
Yes.
And instead of being blockbustered, they get to be on the cutting edge. And now it looks like the PGA was the smart rat in that sinking ship.
Mm-hmm.
And they weathered the Liv storm, and now they're getting their best players back. And I don't know what that means for Liv going forward. Obviously, they have all that Saudi money.
Yes.
But if it's not long term, they didn't have the majors, and I think that's the big problem is that they weren't able to garner
The major tournaments.
tournaments.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't have the Players Tournament. They didn't have the Masters. They didn't have
U.S.
The Open.
The Open.
They didn't have anything. They didn't have. Did I say the Players? I think I said the Players already.
They didn't have the Memorial either.
Open. They didn't have the British Open. They didn't have the Ryder Cup. They didn't have any legacy to hang there. Any marquee
event.
matchups is the right when marquee tournaments. I guess tournaments is the best word. They didn't have any tournaments. They didn't have any marquee tournaments to hang their hat on. They didn't have primetime golf. And golf is a hard sport to market to a new fan base. You can't play golf at 8 p.m. No matter where you are, unless you're playing somewhere, and like if you're trying to play at 8 p.m. in the States, like on Saturday night or Friday night or Sunday night, and especially in a dead, like in April when there's not much going on, when you got maybe baseball and that's about it. It's baseball. And maybe the playoffs for the other two stick and ball sports. But I think the problem is that the Liv didn't live up to the hype. It didn't draw in those PGA Tour fans. No. It didn't. They tried to get younger. They tried to get hipper. They tried to get cooler, and it didn't translate. And I think golf. I think people that like golf are stodgy old men. Whether you're 15 or you're 55 or you're 105, if you like golf, you're a stodgy old man. Whether you're white, black, Asian, or anything in between.
Yep.
You are a muddy. People that like golf, people that like watching golf on television, they don't like the noisemakers and the hoopla and the
flashy stuff.
True.
And the
hecklers.
Word, debauchery. that Liv was trying to appeal to a younger fan base, and younger fans just don't give two shits about golf. And the young fans that are around golf are old heads. They have that old mentality. Golf is a gentlemanly game played by gentlemen. You wear trousers, you wear slack, you wear trousers, and you wear a polo, and you say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and thank you, and you drink big tulips on the porch.
Well, it's a gentleman's game in most cases, except if it's Bryce, Koepka and Shambo. That's not a gentleman's game after all. They hate each other.
And where did they lead them to?
Adam hit it on the head. Adam hit it on the head.
The PGA. They went over to the Fun V. They went to the Fun V, and they got blown up. Because they didn't want to ride in the safe V, in the stodgy old people V. They wanted to ride in the Fun V. And at the end of the day, it led them right back to the PGA. The Liv didn't come along and slay the dragon. It didn't even become a dragon.
Well, I agree, but I agree with you 100%. I think the other thing that hurt Liv too was they had no TV deals. They couldn't get a TV deal. They couldn't get a major American network to carry them. The PGA's on NBC, the PGA's on Fox, CBS. they have basically all of them covered. And Live was on, More 32, which if you don't live in Florida, I don't even know if that's even a channel outside the state of Florida. I don't really even know. But that's another reason why they couldn't keep the two is they don't have any TV deals. And again, they were talking too about how in the beginning Live was three rounds and that was it. Well, they had just made a rule before before Koepka and Patrick Reed came back that they were going to go to 4 rounds. They were going to play all 4 again because, like you said, they were trying to be cool, play the 3-round thing. You can wear shorts. There's music, stuff going on. And like you said, traditional golf fans, they don't want to hear that bullshit. They want the quiet. They want we're January, February will be this weekend. We're only a couple months away from the Masters, which is a tournament that I always watch and I will be watching coming up in April. And like you said, the traditional golf fan, they get out, 2 or 3 times a week, but they're out every day at the same time, playing with the same people, drinking the same drinks, eating the same food after the round. I worked at a golf course for 10 years. I can tell you that. I can tell you the members that I had to deal with on a daily basis, it was like clockwork every week. They played golf at the same time. They usually play with the same people. So, I agree. I was just curious what you guys thought about, them possibly, if something did happen and it's not the PGA merging with Live, it's Live merging with PGA. So PGA, like you said, they've weathered that storm, and now the PGA is like, oh, see, we told you at the end of the day you weren't going to beat us, so why try to compete? Because you weren't going to beat us to begin with. So there's that.
I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah, correct.
And, they have that deal with Fox, but they're not being broadcast on main Fox. They're being on their cable Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
well, speaking not to change the subject, but speaking of something cool that'll be going on this weekend at Raymond James Stadium, if you can look at my hat, this is the logo that the Lightning will be wearing on their jerseys for the outdoor game against Boston. And the weather in Tampa that day is going to be in the 30s when the drop of the puck. So if the NHL didn't get lucky that the weather was going to be that way with that, I'm sure you guys are dealing with that more than I am in Tennessee and in New Jersey.
Yep.
Snow more than I am. But
Adam and I. Well, no, Adam, you probably didn't get as lucky as Knoxville did.
Lucky?
We were wet, but that's it.
That's kind of how we were in Knoxville. I mean, we got a little snow, but it wasn't
we got a dusting.
That's kind of what we got.
I got 10 inches.
Compared to, I saw what Nashville looked like and Memphis. Memphis and Nashville got
a disaster. But no,
Nashville's a disaster too.
Yeah, we were fine. I ended up calling out of work Saturday night because I was afraid of the weather. Man, nothing. I could have gone into work. It'd been fine. It never got cold enough to freeze. Not hard freeze.
Well, how crazy this is, in my area in Florida, it doesn't usually snow, but on Sunday morning, there's a 20% chance of snow where I'm at, which we don't hear that term this far south in Florida. There's actually a chance in Orlando, which is Central Florida. There's a chance it could snow in Orlando.
Yeah.
They've been talking about that, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, that doesn't happen except in the Panhandle. In the Panhandle, in Apalachicola, it snows there all the time. It's right next to Alabama and Georgia, so it gets that cool weather. But yeah,
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, right there in the panhandle.
Kentucky got. I saw pictures. Kentucky got just
walloped.
Yeah, Kentucky, Ohio, the Carolinas. Which that's the last thing the Carolinas need after.
Yeah.
And they still haven't had a chance to fully fix the highways and the roads
from the hurricane.
Yeah,
it's even worse.
Yeah.
And supposedly we're supposed to get another snowstorm this weekend.
Yeah, it's supposed to, but we'll see.
Yeah, the southern.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I might be spared this time.
I can't believe that the NHL, got picked February 1st, and somehow by some miracle, it's going to be cold enough where the ice won't be slush.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, Lou, you're a Rangers fan, right?
Yes.
Is Panarin going to get traded at the deadline?
It looks to be that way. I did hear a rumor that they are looking to trade him. So it's
because I saw this afternoon after I got off work that they're holding him out for roster reasons till the Olympics.
Yeah.
Is that basically saying your time here's done? We're gonna find you, and
that probably means you're out of here.
Well, that's like the Devils with Andre Palat.
Yep.
Andre Palat got traded to the Islanders the other day.
Right, I did see that.
PU.
Yeah, so speaking of the Rangers, they beat the Panthers a couple weeks ago in Miami in their outdoor game where the Marlins play.
Right.
Did y'all see the goalie fight the other day between Bobrovsky and
about that? Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
That was badass.
I was watching a thing on a reel on Instagram. Matthew Tkachuk was talking about it, which usually when goalies get in fights, they kick him out of the game. The referee, I think it was the linesman, told him after, y'all can stay in the game.
I don't know why goalies would get kicked out of the game when you can have a player sit in the penalty box for you.
Well, because their jersey, I guess they have a tie down thing on their jersey, and if that comes off,
yes.
I goalie fights. That's one thing
that you can never take out of the game, out of the game of hockey is goalie fights.
Well, I've been to many hockey games in my life, and I've never. That's the one thing I've never witnessed in person. So I'm hoping one of these days that I will witness one of those. But those are so few and far between, especially goalie fights. Not so much fights in general, but
I've seen.
Fights are,
my favorite thing is when there's a lot like a line brawl, like Bruins. The Stars Bruins game a couple years back, or Bruins Canadiens,
right?
Or Leafs and would it be Montreal, Toronto, or Lightning and the Panthers?
Yeah, I was going to say Lightning Panthers,
especially the preseason game.
Yeah. This year,
of course, it's always my problem is the Lightning do something and they have a guy get suspended. If Florida does something, nothing.
Yeah, well,
or they get a little tiny slap on the wrist.
Florida's getting their guys back though from injury. I think.
I think they might be too far out of the division. Even though the division's a crapshoot. You got Buffalo in third place. Which, did any of us think we'd be saying that?
No.
Buffalo won 10 games in a row?
Yeah.
They're on a 4-game win streak right now.
I honestly, at the beginning of the year, I'm like, Buffalo's not making the playoffs.
They might now.
Yeah.
Well, Buffalo's owed one because the Bills didn't make it to the AFC Championship game. So the city of Buffalo's owed one. Their hockey team's going to get to the playoffs.
Well, and then people were trying to say, "Oh, the Bills should trade Josh Allen. He's holding them back."
Again,
please.
That's just those people are ridiculous. But they'll say what they want to say.
I can tell you who it is. It's Dolphins fans because they're sick of Josh Allen owning their franchise.
Well, you saw Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll are in Tennessee now.
That's Daboll is one of the best offensive coordinators.
Well, in his defense, Daboll did resurrect Daniel Jones' career by getting him sent to Indianapolis.
Hey, if Daniel Jones doesn't re-sign with the Colts, Daniel Jones to the Steelers.
Daniel Jones to the Dolphins.
Oh, no.
I've heard Malik Willis to the Dolphins, which would make a lot of sense.
I've heard that name pop up a lot. Is Willis to the Dolphins?
Because it makes sense. Who was the GM? Well, who was the not GM, but who was like assistant GM in Green Bay? The guy that's now the GM in Miami, and who was one of the coaches in Green Bay? The guy that's now the head coach in Miami.
Yeah.
But I don't think Hafley's gonna last long there.
Yeah, probably not.
We've seen this movie before with Hafley. Just ask Boston College.
I've seen it too.
No offense, Boston College fans, but
no, all the offense.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, would you consider them in the middle of the pack of the ACC, or do you think they're on the bottom?
Bottom.
Basement.
They were in the basement last year. They were in, yeah. They were in the basement
with Stanford and
one of the guys that's on the website with me. He covers Boston College, so I got to read his articles last year about Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien needs to.
I can't wait to see what goes down this year. If they don't get off to a hot start, he's probably going to get fired at BC.
He should have been gone this year.
Yeah.
Well, but
I feel like we put him on the hot seat a lot.
But then again, what are you? Oh, they just scored. What are they? There's not much they're looking forward to at BC. What are your expectations?
No, they're a hockey school.
6 games to get to a bowl game.
Above
being better than UMass.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, yeah, that's true.
In Connecticut.
Well, UConn had a good season last year in football.
Yeah, but UConn's going to need to find a new quarterback. Their quarterback's going to the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to come to. Well, that's what happens. I mean, I was doing a little research today. I wrote an article about USF having 41 new transfers. 4 quarterbacks are here in that pool of 41 because Byron Brown and Gadsden Moore are both in Auburn with.
You mean Lachlan Hewitt?
Oh, why do I keep saying that? Yes, Lachlan Hewitt. Gadsden Moore was our starter now, but he was a senior. Yeah, so yes, Lachlan Hewitt and Byron Brown are both in Auburn with Golish. With Golish. So
now,
Heartline got somebody from LSU and
got Van Buren from Mississippi State.
And the kid from LSU is also coming too.
No, it's not LSU. It's Liberty.
Well, Liberty too. They have a quarterback from LSU.
Jaden Bradford from Liberty.
Yeah. I'm curious, Bud, to see how I really honestly, I even though I am going to New Orleans in April. I've never been there, so I'm excited to go there. But I'm hoping that the spring game is before I go because I want to see how Hartline runs the team. Because again, we haven't had a new coach and a new quarterback.
I'm assuming that Van Buren's probably going to be the starter because he's the most experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi State?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, he was at Mississippi State the year before last year, and then last year he was at not Florida. He was somewhere last year, and he got a couple starts because the starter got hurt. Maybe Auburn.
I want to say here. Let's see. Who did they get? Here we go. This is who I was. Here are the quarterbacks that came in. You had Luke, the kid from Mississippi State. How do you pronounce his last name?
Romano.
Yeah.
Romano.
Michael Van Buren Jr. from LSU, Jaden Bradford from Liberty, and KJ Cooper from Texas Southern are the four that transferred in. Because, like I said, Hewitt and Byron Brown are both in Auburn. So
I would expect Van Buren to start, and if he struggles, you go to one of the other three kids.
And tell me about this kid, CJ Hicks, who's a 5-star prospect from Ohio State that also transferred.
And they got a former Ohio State receiver as well.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Yeah, he's another one.
Bryson Rogers.
Well, that's because of Hartline.
It is.
Now we're back up. I'm watching the Lightning game, by the way, in case
so am I.
I was wondering what game it was.
Yanni Gore just scored.
I was wondering what game we were watching.
It was cool. I was there the other night to see them beat Utah 2-0 on Monday night.
Fine.
You saw was it Sorelli that got in a fight on Monday?
It may have been Sorelli. I don't remember. Somebody got into it, and they were in the penalty box, jawing with the other guy.
I always love that when these guys get in a fight, and then they go to the penalty box, and they're still yapping at each other in the penalty box.
Yes.
Well, that makes it fun because you know that they're not quite done. They're not quite done jawing with each other, but
no.
And
then sometimes you get the referees that add a little flavor to the
calls.
Yeah, like Wes McCauley.
Yeah, he's one of the best at that.
5 minutes for fighting.
As it makes the game more fun that the officials get into it like that, where
you can't do that.
Sometimes in any sport,
I'm talking to America right now.
Keep the flags or the whistles.
I'm talking to America right now.
Yeah,
but
you're not gonna like it.
Oh, you brought up the transfer portal, and I think it's a perfect segue into something that I wanted to bring up with you fine gentlemen. I think I have a way to fix the transfer portal and fix the NIL.
Okay.
So my proposal is that Congress passes a law to create a third independent body that governs NIL. And it's independent from the schools and the NCAA, and all they do is handle the money and making sure that the money gets dispersed to the student athletes while they're at the school. And that then, therefore, each school has each region has you have a headquarters office, and you put it in Washington D.C. or wherever. I'm fine with that. We can hammer those details out later. And then each region, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, or the Pac-10, whatever the hell they're calling that thing now, the Big
Mountain
12,
West,
the ACC, the Mountain West. Well, you could have. I would think that it'd be the Big Ten the Big Ten / MAC, and then like the Sun Belt / SEC, and the Mountain West / Big 12 or Pac-12, whichever one it falls. And then the other,
American.
and they would absorb um the duties of administering to the other schools, and then that would stop. Then you wouldn't have then schools would not be allowed to have direct contact with the students, with
Look
the
at.
athlete.
Can I chime in and give you an example?
Hold on.
Darian Mensah, Duke.
What about it?
He was getting tampered, and Brad, you can back me up on this. He was getting tampered with when he was at Duke before he transferred to Miami. Miami was tampering with him, weren't they, Brad?
I believe so.
It wasn't. He wasn't the one I was. The one that I was thinking was that I forget where he signed. I think it was LSU. I think he signed with LSU, and then Ole Miss wanted to offer him more money to come, or it was the other way around. I think it was either he went to Ole Miss, he signed with Ole Miss, and LSU was trying to get him to come, or he signed with LSU and Ole Miss was trying to get him to come as a linebacker, and I forget his name. But by creating a third-party independent body that has no ties to either the universities or the school, and no one with affiliation from the schools can apply to be a representative. So if you have worked or went to a school, you cannot be a representative. So if you went to Michigan, you cannot be a representative in the Big Ten. You can be a representative in the SEC. You can be a representative in the Pac-12 or the Big 12 or the Big Sky or whatever. You cannot work. You cannot work in the Big Ten. And we would come up with a name for it. Administrative NIL administrative office to administer the NIL funds, and the schools no longer have the responsibility for administering the money. That money, any money that's collected by the schools, has to be documented. It has to be public. No secret donations, no private donations from anonymous. If you're going to donate to the school, it has to be done in person is wrong, but in writing with your name attached. You can't be some oil billionaire in Texas and decide that you're going to give Texas $100 million to fund the football program. If you want to donate $100 million to Texas University, that's fine.
You want to guess?
But that money is going to fund all student athletes, from the lowliest volleyball player to the tippy top of the college football ranks. Whether you're Arch Manning or some third string backup center on the men's volleyball team, everyone enrolled at school in a athletic program. It'd be better if I thought about this more.
I think you're talking about Texas Tech.
Eligible to receive funds, and then it would be on the students who go to the school. It would be their responsibility to apply to the NIL office to get those funds, and those funds would be paid out in an appropriate way, so that the kids at the schools could make. And by agreeing to this, you agree to enroll into a financial assistance program to help set you up for long-term sustained financial success post-athletics, regardless of whether you go playing football in the professional leagues or you're an insurance salesman in Lubbock. And you got a volleyball scholarship, and there's no professional volleyball. You get done with school, you're out of school, and now you got $40,000 to do whatever you will with. You have a financial education on top of your regular education, or not necessarily a financial education, but a financial guideline, a financial plan for long-term sustained success over the course of your life beyond athletics and beyond your professional athletic career. And then what that does, and I'll let you guys chime in here in just a second. I just want to make one final point on this. Is what that does is it prevents it helps to mitigate the tampering between two schools. Like once you've committed to a school, you're committed to a school. And if you withdraw from the if you withdraw if you withdraw from a school after the withdrawal, you have, and in my perfect world, you would have 1 week from commitment to withdraw. So if you signed on January 1st, you'd have till January 8th to withdraw and change your mind based on any factor. Anything after that, you have to apply for a hardship waiver and document your hardship. It can't be I'm homesick. You have to have a genuine hardship that you can prove. Your mother has cancer, your father has cancer, your sister has, both her legs were amputated below the knee, and she had a baby, and now you have to raise that baby. So you have to apply for a hardship waiver to be granted that hardship waiver to pull on to re-enter the transfer portal after the transfer portal window has closed.
Right.
And then you couldn't have an LSU coming along and going, well, you know what? We found another $115 million, and we're going to offer this kid an extra $1.5 million on top of what the Ole Miss offered them. It just wouldn't work.
Nope, it wouldn't work.
And on top of that, and then some of the other things that you could do to help. Nobody home. Oh, okay. And then something else you can do is you can have it based on you can have a GPA. You could also have, and again, I know I said I would let you guys chime in, but I keep thinking of things. You can have it based on GPA too. Your eligibility to receive funds could be based upon your GPA and your attending in classes.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. Any thoughts, comments, concerns?
I 100% agree.
I'm right there too.
The only thing I would say is you're only allowed to transfer once. Because look at a guy like, can I use an example? Look at TJ Finley. He's been on 7 different teams now in 6 years of playing college football.
No, you shouldn't do that.
That doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with that. I think you should have to be enrolled in school 90 days.
No, he's already graduated.
And
he's already got his degree from 3 different schools.
It doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with the guy.
So you're fine with the guy transferring 6 times?
Again, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't.
Well, because there's people out there trying to say that he's just doing it for the money.
Then they think that.
Well, like if there are a lot of guys who should have never left school. Matt Leinart, he could have transferred 6 times. He probably should have.
Well, can I say what? Could you imagine what it would be like if Johnny Manziel was in school right now?
No.
He would have made all the money. It would have been obscene. The amount of money he made. But I've never had a problem with the guy transferring after the season. Like, because I think about Joe Burrow at
well, that's because he was, I think, 4th string.
He was in his final year. He was 3rd on the depth chart behind
Haskins and Barrett
and Field. No, he was 3rd when he transferred. He was 3rd behind Fields and Haskins was gone.
It was JT Barrett.
Yeah. No,
and Cardell Jones.
It was Haskins, Barrett, you may be able to pay Field. And when he transferred, Fields he was still 3rd on the depth chart when he transferred to Ole Miss. He was never getting an opportunity to play at Ole Miss, or not Ole Miss,
Ohio State.
So I have no problem with the guy wanting to transfer, wanting to try and find a place where he can stand out and possibly make the show.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with the guy trying to improve his life, improve his draft stock, improve his ability. The thing that these.
I'm going to say that I have an example from this year. Garrett Nussmeier. He shouldn't have stayed at LSU.
Probably not. He probably hurt his draft stock. And again,
he hurt it big time. He should have came out last year after he had a really good season.
But it may end up being, in the long term, it may end up being the best thing he ever did. Because instead of being stuck on some crappy team like the Saints or the Jets or sorry, Lou.
No offense.
Or stuck. He might.
Well, the thing is, the Saints don't need a quarterback now. Shuck looked pretty good in his limited.
He looked very limited, is what he looked.
Yes.
I mean, when Juwan Johnson's not a very good tight end. Olave was their only reliable receiver. They need to get him more weapons, and I think Kamara is either going to get cut or traded.
I didn't see him do anything to maybe I have to go back and look at the film and study the Saints a little bit closer.
I'll say this: they need to get him an offensive line.
You can say that about 70% of the league.
Their goal in this game. Luckily, you're able to open up.
But no, they're not moving.
I think they're going to give him a whole year because this year's quarterback class is not particularly. Some of these guys don't move the needle.
No, but.
And I think if Shuck doesn't do good this year, next year they'll take a quarterback.
They might. But look at Brock Purdy.
He
had a down year at Iowa State.
He went at the end of the draft
in San Francisco. That worked out pretty well for him. So Nussmeier may end up being, he could end up in. He could be a fourth or fifth round pick. End up in
and not trying to
LA.
The blue line there.
Sitting behind Stafford.
Behind Stafford for a year or two. Get to ride the pine there in LA, learn from one of the best modern quarterbacks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad fit at all.
And then in 2 years, he'll take over and be, he can come in as the kind of an all shucks guy, and in a year and a half be the heir apparent when Stafford finally hangs him up.
Adam Hall, I am Paul Kennedy.
So,
the first assist.
Can I get you to turn that down some?
Yeah.
Please.
Nikita Kucherov, who played but 4 shifts.
Right there.
That's good. Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Brad, what was it you wanted to tell us about the targeting rule in college?
Oh, they want to change it. They want to change it. But the current rule is if targeting is you get kicked out of the game, and then if you might be kicked out of the first half of the next game or something along those lines. So now what the NCAA is proposing for the 2026 season is they're going to tier it. So first of all, if targeting 1 is common for hits that meet technical definition for targeting but lack malicious intent, would be 15 yards, no ejection, kind of like it is in the NFL. You get targeting 15 yards, whatever.
So they're going to kind of do it like the NBA.
Right, and then they'll call flagrant.
Yeah.
Now, that if it's a clear launch, predatory intent, or excessive force to the head of a defenseless player, it's 15 and you get ejected. So that's what they want to kind of because I guess there was a cornerback for the Miami Hurricanes that didn't get to play the first half of the national championship game because he was in the targeting call against Ole Miss, and he was unable to play in the first half because of that reason. But but yeah, that they want to do that. They want to try to change our website. We have a staff writer. It's somebody that it's not somebody. It's a program that writes articles for us. But it was an article written by them, and they were talking about that. And I wanted to bring that up because I saw it the other day that they were going to change the rule because in the NFL it's just 15, and that's it.
Yeah.
In college, you get kicked out immediately.
Yeah, automatic ejection.
So I think I kind of agree if they tier it, where if it's non-malicious, and I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. If the quarterback is in the slide, and what is the cornerback going to do, or the defensive player going to do? You're going in to make a tackle with your shoulder, and he ducks and dives, and you smack into him with your helmet. In the helmet, I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I don't know how you tell a defender, oh, don't tackle him. You know what I mean? So with that type of thing, I think it should just be 15.
I mean, unless the quarterback pulls a Kenny Pickett and does the fake slide, which that should be that should be illegal.
Yeah, they outlawed that right away, like the next day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they do impose the rule in next year, we'll see the new rule.
I want to see how they call it first before I make a call one way or the other.
Okay.
I think you're getting right back into the judgment.
Fair enough.
You're getting right back into the judgment territory, where like if the referee has there's any doubt at all in his mind, he's not going to call a flagrant 2. He's just going to call the flagrant 1, because if he calls a 2, everyone's going to lose their mind, especially in the second half of a playoff game. And I just don't know about the gray. We complain so much about gray area in the rules and interpretation and leaving it up to the refs to make a call. So I kind of like, I personally, I'm preferable to the black and white of any contact to the head, regardless of intent. I feel like high sticking. And I feel like it's high sticking in hockey. It's illegal, regardless of whether you meant to or not. You get your stick up, it's 2 minutes. It's always 2 minutes. It's always going to be 2 minutes.
I agree. But what if it's like, because it happened to the Lightning when they played in Columbus the other night. They had 2 different incidents where it was high sticking, but then they reviewed it. And the first time, they determined that it was friendly fire and there was no penalty. And then the second time it happened, they actually called it.
Well, that's a good use of replay. I don't have any problem with them taking a second look at it to make sure they get the call right. Buzz down.
No, I don't either.
No.
Take 10 seconds while everybody's getting back to the huddle, and buzz down to the ref. Hey, that wasn't a penalty. Okay, cool. You pick up the flag, wave the flag off. No foul.
Well, in hockey, it's they go to Toronto and
right, like Toronto they down. Personally, I think it should be. I very much feel like penalty replay should be streamlined, where in between of a play, especially in football, if we're going to have a replay, if we're going to replay penalties, make sure that the calls are right. It should be streamlined. It should be done by someone not at the game, and you just buzz down to the referee. And, yep, nope, that wasn't a hold. Yep, nope, that wasn't PI. Yep, nope, that was you missed a face mask. And now, personally, I think you take it out of the hands of the on the field officials, and we just have virtual referees, kind of like what they're doing with the virtual ump in baseball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robots take over the world.
Well, see, the thing is, hockey officials are the best, even though they do get the call wrong sometimes. But they do. They take slack, but not as much as like baseball. Baseball umpires.
Oh they get like the worst.
Look at who was it? Was it Aaron Boone a couple years ago, where he was in a dugout and there's a guy sitting behind the dugout that was just running his mouth.
Yeah,
and the whole plate umpire thought it was Boone Aaron Boone saying something, and he got
run. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. I do.
And he's
No,
like, I didn't bleep and say anything, and he was pointing at the guy that was behind the dugout. It's just I understand you're going to a baseball game, but if you're gonna heckle, make sure it's appropriate.
Yes.
Because there is kids at the game.
Schmuck.
I don't know.
Like I see these people on Instagram that they go to baseball games and all they go to the games to do is heckle the outfielders
And get drunk.
They probably are, honestly.
Yes.
And the guys the outfielders just stand there and laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even. Some of them turn around and acknowledge. Some of them are just like. And I mean, I don't know how I'd be if I was an outfielder playing for an MLB team and I had a heckler like that. I don't know how I'd be able to keep a straight face.
I say bite me.
I don't know. I just think you got to take it all in stride. It's kind of part of the
Well,
game, man.
Yes, as long as they're not taught. The only issue with heckling is when you bring the person's family into it.
Yeah, don't get personal.
That's going too far.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But
heckling is fine as long as you don't involve family or family members.
Right.
But once you get to family members, no. Or what? The whole thing that happened with Jarren Duran, was it last year, Brad?
Henry.
When he got suspended for a game.
It was him, and also it was also who was the outfielder that played for the Red Sox and then moved? Alex Verdugo. Verdugo also had issues at Yankee Stadium, being harassed by Yankee fans in the outfield. He got into it with them, and then of course he became a Yankee. So that's funny.
Well, the most recent one was Jarren Duran. Somebody was heckling him, and he did not like it.
Yeah,
and he told them.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you're a professional athlete. Not everyone likes you, and
right.
You could be on your own damn
That's
team.
How it goes.
But again, when you cross, there's lines you don't cross. Family thing, wives, kids, you don't cross those lines. But if you heckle
immutable characteristics that you have no control over.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
If you're heckling somebody for making a bad play, as a professional athlete, you're like, you laugh about it. That's what you do. But it's part of exactly.
But when you bring, and I mean, I don't blame Duran for what he said. He basically told him, "Look, go kick rocks."
Yeah,
that's
as long as it's all in good fun, I have no problem with heckling. The stuff that crosses. We obviously, where the line is, and you make a mistake and you say something you ought not have said. And if you own up to it and take responsibility, say you're sorry and get your 1-year ban, and then you come back and you just do it the way you're supposed to do it.
Well, is that guy only banned for a year, or is it a lifetime ban?
I don't think it. I don't think you should. I don't think there's very little that outside of fighting at the ballpark. Being a disturbance, multiple incidents, a pattern of behavior where you've been a problem multiple times over the course of your attendance. One. I don't think one incident should cost you the right to go to the ballpark ever again. People make mistakes and people can change. People can be better, But if you're a repeat offender, if this is the second, third, fourth time you've had your season, your tickets revoked or whatever, then a lifetime ban. But I think, and it really depends on the severity of what you said and, how quickly we forget.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't. I mean, I know I know recently within the last, I would say, 5 years since COVID, there's been a lot of people that have been thrown out for for life, lifetime bans in baseball.
Yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Mostly it's baseball, right? I don't think I've heard.
Not really in hockey.
Not hockey, football. Well, hockey's just too loud. I mean, live. If you're down on the ice level, you good luck trying to hear a heckler and all that noise.
Exactly.
So that baseball would be the one because it's so quiet. At times in the ballpark, it's very quiet. Well, yeah, golf. If you can't take heckling in the game of golf, you have a problem. Because look at what happened at the Ryder Cup. Now again, after the Ryder Cup with Rory McIlroy and him going after him about his wife, that's crossing the line. Yes. But if you want to heckle Rory for what he said about the United States, go ahead. He should be ready for that if that's what he said, and he has to be prepared for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, golf definitely, Lou, would be one of those that you have to be.
Soccer.
No. I don't watch a lot of soccer, so you guys would tell me. I don't watch the game that often. I will watch it.
I only watch it when the World Cup's going on.
Yeah, me too. I only watch
soccer. I think you're if you don't heckle, you get thrown out.
Well, soccer fans, I think, are the most passionate fans in all sports.
Yes.
Because they live or die by whatever team they follow, whether it's Premier League or whatever. That they live or die by that team that they cheer for. So, at least in my opinion, I'm not a soccer fan. I mean, we can have Lou. Who's the guy that's on Gerald's show that is always talking about soccer?
Oh, Devin.
He's the guy that you talk to about soccer because he's soccer enthusiast. So
hooligans. The word hooligan was coined for soccer fans.
You could say that about them. You could say that about them.
Tennis.
Soccer.
Tennis. Oh yeah.
The soccer war. Brazil. Was it Brazil and Argentina?
I believe so. South America. Yep. Or South and Central America. Yeah.
What about tennis? Tennis players get heckled.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they do.
It's like golf.
Yes, they do.
Just like golf. You're out there by yourself. Just be prepared because you're out there all alone. Well, speaking of tennis players that got heckled a lot, look at John McEnroe. He got heckled every time he went to play at Wimbledon. They heckled him all the time because they hated him.
El Salvador and Honduras.
Honduras, okay.
Yeah, well, John McEnroe earned every single one of those heckles.
No question about it.
That's true.
For Nick, okay, here's a basketball rivalry: Knicks and Sixers.
Knicks and Celtics.
I would say Knicks Celtics before I would say Sixers.
Yes.
Or Lakers, Lakers, Clippers.
Celtics.
Yeah, Lakers, Celtics.
Celtics,
I was saying Lakers, Clippers because that's the battle of
LA.
It's
the Malice at the Palace, the Pistons.
Oh yeah, a documentary about that on Netflix not too long ago. The Malice at the Palace.
The Pistons and the
Pistons and the Pacers.
Pistons and Pistons Bulls back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
With Dennis Rodman.
Jordan hates Isaiah Thomas and vice versa. They don't like each other. They still don't like each other today.
No.
The Heat and Magic.
Yeah.
Not really, because the Magic
I was going to say the Heat and the Magic. I mean, maybe. I mean,
I think now it is.
Yeah, both teams are good now.
Whenever the Heat are good, the Magic aren't. If the Magic are good, the Heat aren't.
I was going to say the only time that you would say that would be during the Shaq, Alonzo Mourning type era, but I wouldn't even consider the Heat that good during that era.
Right. No, I think if you're talking,
you could say Knicks. You could say Knicks Pacers from the '90s. They didn't like each other during when Michael was out playing baseball.
Yeah.
Or the Knicks Bulls.
Them too. But yeah, Bulls Pistons. I know they didn't like each other.
Yeah, Bulls
That's-
Pistons, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, no, those
Uh-huh.
are heated rivalry games.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of heckling going on in between
Uh-huh.
out on the court.
NFL Ravens Steelers.
Yeah, there was a lot of they've played each other in the playoffs. So yeah, I would say Ravens Steelers. I would say Brown Steelers if I'm gonna go
AFC East.
rivalries.
I think the best Bengals
Steelers. The Vontaze Burfict and Antonio Brown.
Yes.
The greatest.
That's what messed up Antonio Brown.
The best rivalries in American sports is the NFL.
Yes.
What about Yankees Red Sox?
Long-term sustained hatred, generational hate. Outside of Auburn, Alabama, and Michigan, Ohio State, generational hate.
Army Navy.
Texas A&M.
Yes.
To a lesser extent.
Well, wait. What about Yankees Red Sox?
Would you consider Army Navy a rivalry? Even though I know that they're both academies, but they're not. They're fighting for our freedom. So they're on the same team anyway. It's a whole different
animal. We've talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah,
at least I have. It's a whole different kind of rivalry because it's the only rivalry where they get up, where they could be called up the next morning to go anywhere in the world.
Correct.
And sent off to
Istanbul.
Yep, that's true.
Harrowing things for people they'll never meet. No, granted, anybody in college can.
Or okay, so MLB, Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah.
The rivalries have taken a back seat the last few years.
Dodgers, Padres.
Not
really. Dodgers, Giants.
They like each other.
Dodgers, Giants.
Yes.
They were both in New York with each other at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before I got
they moved out to California.
Rays and anybody in the American League East.
Yeah, I would say that. I wouldn't say the Marlins because the Rays haven't played the Marlins in the World Series or during the postseason.
You don't really play each other enough.
Yeah,
you have a heated rivalry.
Right. You'd have to play each other.
In state rivalry, yes, the Citrus Series, but in terms of that's out of division. In division, it would have to be Rays, Red Sox, Rays, Yankees. Especially with all the times the Yankees have stirred stuff up with the Rays, intentionally throwing at Mike. I think it was Mike Brosso's head, Aroldis Chapman, 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Adam was talking about old rivalries. You can go back to the '90s and say Red Wings Avalanche, because those were must-watch games when those two teams,
Bruins, Canadiens,
or Detroit.
Yeah,
those are must-watch games because you knew something was going to happen. You knew something.
Flyers. What about Flyers, Penguins?
You could say Flyers, Penguins because they're both in Pennsylvania.
Rangers, Islanders.
Yes.
Well,
Battle of New York.
Would you say Rangers, Islanders, or Rangers, Devils?
Rangers, Islanders.
Islanders. Okay.
Either way, but the Rangers, Islanders have had some.
Anaheim, LA.
Yes.
No, not really.
San Jose, Anaheim.
Again, not really. You've got to both be. There's just no blood feud there.
No.
San Jose.
Toronto, Montreal, you could say is a rivalry.
San Jose, LA is the battle. What's the freeway series? Is that in hockey? Is that LA and San Jose?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Sharks and Kings? I'm not sure.
I think Toronto and
the Sharks are good this year, though.
Yeah, Scalabrini.
Toronto, Boston, you could definitely put in that category.
Well, and Toronto, Boston played each other a lot in the playoffs.
Well, they were the original six.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as well.
Red Wings and Leafs.
And what always happens to Toronto in the playoffs?
Choke.
It's the greatest rivalry in sports. Toronto in the first round.
Don't meet Brad Marchand. if you're Toronto.
Choke.
Because no matter who he plays for, you're not beating him. Boston and Florida.
Well, it's funny you bring up Marchand because I heard the other day it was between Florida and Toronto in free agency for Brad Marchand.
Got to pick Florida. Well, I mean, we see him more often down here, but
he's a rat, though.
No, well, he plays that role very well, and
he's like another guy that I hate when he played. Chris Neil, that used to play for the Ottawa Senators.
Chris Neil,
the turtle.
Yeah, that's the nickname he got. Yeah, that's right.
The turtle. You had some back in the old days. You had some good enforcers. You had Steve Ott. You had Gregory Campbell. You had Sean Thornton for the Bruins. Lightning had Ternansky. Chris Dingman.
Forget about Chris Dingman. He was online. He was on the fourth line when they won their first Stanley Cup in 2004. Yep. He was the line 4 guy. Him and Martin Seaback, and I forget, and Andre Waugh. That was line 4.
Andre Waugh was another one.
When they won their first Stanley Cup. That was line 4 for the
now for the Lightning, you would say Andre Waugh's got to be probably Curtis Douglas. Dingman's got to be.
The enforcer role isn't what it used to be. There really aren't any more enforcers anymore in hockey. They've gotten rid of that.
Yeah.
That title. Yeah.
Now it's more of grinder who can drop the gloves every so often.
Yeah.
Unless your name's Matt Rempe or Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, you have players on your team that are known to fight. They're the ones who go in if your player gets.
Oh, speaking of the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
The Lightning. So Sunday they play Boston. Tuesday they play Buffalo. Thursday they play the Panthers.
Is it on the road or at home?
Home.
In Tampa. Okay.
The next 3 games are all home.
Oh, that's right, because technically the Sunday's game is a home game, even though they're not playing at Benchmark International Arena.
Yep, and then they got Buffalo, which I'm scared of Buffalo now.
Well, that game should be interesting because, again, knowing that knowing they're up there, knowing that they're on the rise, that game will be interesting, and to say the least, because it's not saying it's a must win. But it's going to be a game you're going to have to grind out to win. We'll see how it plays out.
I saw a video earlier today of somebody talking about that somebody should give up like 4 or 5 first-round picks to get Brady Tkachuk from Ottawa. Brady Tkachuk's not going to ever be traded from Ottawa.
For 4 or 5 first-round picks?
I was going to say you're going to give 4. You're going to give that many first-round picks.
That's what I heard, but I think that person's being a little too ridiculous.
I do that. I do that doing a heartbeat and twice on Sunday, bro.
3 times.
If I was Ottawa?
Oh, it was the Rangers. The Rangers.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It was 2, I think it was 2. The trade was 2 first-round picks, a prospect, 2 prospects, 2 or 3 first-round picks for Brady Tkachuk. I'm like, yeah, that's no. Ottawa's hanging up the phone within 2 seconds.
No.
Yes.
Brady Tkachuk is going to be a Senator for life.
Not for that kind of money. They're not for that kind of return. 2 first-round picks? You had me right there. I'm doing that deal all day, every day.
But it's the Rangers, and they're going into a rebuild.
Yeah, I know that. I know that deal's not happening, but
now more realistic. Elias Pettersson going to maybe Detroit? Or would that hurt some of the young guys getting ice time for Detroit?
Probably the young guys.
That's a question for Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, would you take Elias Pettersson or Brock Besser from Vancouver?
I don't know. Depends on what they want for him.
Because Vancouver's just gonna, I think they're gonna gut their entire team at the deadline. At least the veterans.
I think Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Calgary might go. They might all be following suit.
Calgary's not that far out of a playoff spot.
13 goals, 45 games, 13 goals, 20 assists, 33 points.
Whose stats are you looking at?
Elias Pettersson.
He's a good power play guy, and he's a good second or third liner.
Honestly, I just don't know about who they would have to give up to get him.
Mm-hmm.
And
it would probably take like a second or third round pick, maybe for Pettersson, because I think he's going to be a pending free agent. Unless Yzerman thinks he can get him on a cheap extension.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take him in Tampa with all the injuries we have, but when we get everybody back, we don't have room for him. Because right now, Point's the only forward out for the Lightning.
Right.
And then we're missing
only 3 games left or a week left?
Oh no, this is for the deadline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if the Lightning wanted to make a trade like that, I don't think they would. I think they need to get more depth defensively and get bottom 6 wingers. I like Jack Finley, but I just think he's not ready to be a full-time guy. I was going to say the same thing about Keith Gonzalez, but ever since Gonzalez has been back in the lineup and playing, he's been really good.
With what's his name? Darren Radish, what's going to happen to him when you have both McDonough and Hedman back?
McDonough's back tonight.
Is he back?
Yeah, first game back. And Radish is still in the lineup. I think, who is Radish paired with?
Oh, there's McDonough right there. I just saw he's paired with Chernak. Okay.
It's Moser and Radish. I would think Moser gets moved down to the third pair when Hedman comes back. And then you have maybe a mixture of like Crozier, Lilleberg, and Stu. That pair you could flip one of them every game and have them with Moser.
Could be. Well, that'll be something John Cooper will have to.
Well, you're not taking it. There's no way Gage Gonzalez comes out of the lineup.
Well, he's a forward anyway, so no, that's not going to happen.
Right.
He's a forward.
I'm talking about when Point comes back.
No, they'll keep him in. He'll be one of the 4 lines.
Third or fourth foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be with Nick Paul or somebody along those lines. Because line 1 is obviously Point,
Kucherov,
and Hagel. And then it's Cirelli.
I mean, are you going to – because you've already seen them give an extension to Stu. Are you giving an extension to Radish? Or is he going to want too much money?
He's a UFA, buddy, at the end of the season. So he's an unrestricted free agent. So if I'm him – and I'm having a good year, I might test the free agency market. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's how I would look at it. again, I'm not his agent, so I can't sit here and say anything. But me personally,
Cirelli.
He's in the box.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to be in a back alley with Anthony Cirelli.
I like Cirelli. He's grown on me.
I think you're right. There we go.
Oh, look at the guy in the front
There's
row.
a few guys on the Lightning. There's a few guys on the Lightning that I would not want to get on their bad side and beat them in a dark alley.
No.
We're a well-lit alley.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Cirelli's one, Chernak, Curtis Douglas, especially if Curtis Douglas is on skates.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Yeah.
Curtis Douglas is 6'9".
Yeah, I was gonna say he's the tallest hockey player, I think, currently in the NHL.
No, he's not taller than an Arbor Jackeye.
Oh, okay.
AKA also known as Wi-Fi.
Right. Wi-Fi.
Well, it's like I said, the Olympics are on the way, and obviously we're gonna see who it's gonna probably come down to USA Canada as it always does, but Sweden's pretty good.
Did you the Lightning? You have the Lightning game on. They were just talking about earlier, I guess. Gergensons is on Latvia, and Bjorkstrand's on
Danish, Netherlands, I believe.
Something like that. And they were talking trash to each other.
Well,
because Bjorkstrand's trying to say he's on the same level as Gergensons.
The Lightning are sending the most players of any NHL franchise to the Olympics. I think we have 9 guys.
11
going to the Olympics,
including a guy that's in the minors.
Correct. That doesn't. Imagine if Russia was also in the Olympics.
Oh, Kucherov.
Think about how scary that team would be.
Kucherov, Ovechkin,
Vasilevsky. Think how scary that team would be if Russia was back in. It'd be like the Soviets in the 1980s. The scary team. How scary good they are.
Yeah, we would scare them though.
The miracle on ice.
Well, speaking of that, did you guys see? Do you guys all have Netflix? Are you guys Netflix subscribers?
Yes.
No, I have Prime and ESPN.
They're doing a documentary called American Boys about Team USA.
Yes.
About the Soviet Union and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see what it's going to be about, how they're going to go into detail about Coach Brooks and what he did, and how they somehow pulled off the greatest upset in all sports. So
yeah, they did.
So yeah, I'm curious there's a couple of those I want to watch. I want to watch the one about John Elway, the one about the Florida Gators when Team Tebow was there, Swamp Kings or whatever the heck that documentary was called. But I've watched some cool ones on there.
Have you watched the one on Aaron Hernandez?
No, I didn't even know there was one out about him. I'll be.
And his messed up.
So what's Hernandez?
I was gonna say, he
had some issues, big time.
He had all the issues.
All the issues.
He was the original Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Why does he? Yeah.
Then there became Antonio Brown, and I don't know if I mentioned this. Antonio Brown's trying to make a comeback to the NFL.
Oh, boy. We don't need that.
Wait a minute. The Winnipeg Jets won the President's Trophy last year?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Never good this year.
No, they were just showing the stats, Lou, from when they won it through 52 games last year to 52 games this year. It's a completely 180.
Well, and they mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, it was like the first or second period that Hellebuck had missed a long stretch of games because he had a knee procedure done.
Mm.
He's going to be Team USA starting goalie most likely. I would
It'll be
imagine.
awesome.
Everybody's outraged that the guy from Dallas didn't make it. Jason Robertson.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's a lot of guys that got snubbed. Bedard, Robertson. Chicago's turning the corner, though.
Yeah, not really.
Chicago's young.
Very young.
They're a young team.
There's an interesting thing that happened the other night. They played, I think it was Florida, and they had a kid that had just turned 21, and he gets in a fight. He's all bloody. Then guess who they asked to try to win the shit out? The kid that just turned 21. And he scored the game-winning goal in the shootout.
Oh, dear.
You got it.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
You're in the show now, kid.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, kid.
Yeah.
You're officially old enough to drink.
Mm.
Welcome to the show.
Yep. But
Helen Buck's mask looks like Jason Voorhees.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard
the Winnipeg Jet logo.
I don't know. Did I score again? Is it 5-1 now?
What are you looking? Adam, is that the Red Wings?
The Wings?
No, I got they're at second intermission. I was watching the Winnipeg, the Tampa Winnipeg game.
Oh, it's 3-1.
Yeah, I'm actually going
Yeah, I
to
see that now.
the game on right now.
The Avalanche are trailing 7-3 to Montreal in the third period. Holy crap!
Holy
they gave up
mackerel.
7 goals.
Look
to
at
Montreal.
the stats and see who scored. I'm gonna bet you. I'm gonna bet you Cole Caulfield has at least one goal.
Let me see, but let me look that up.
That's another guy that everybody's outraged that he didn't make Team Canada. They're like, how is that guy not on Team Canada? He's already at 30 goals.
Actually, he has not had a goal. He has no goals or no assists.
No goals.
He's a +1 though, so he is in the positive in the plus-minus category. But no, he has.
Who has the goals for Montreal?
Let's see. Who has the goals?
Suzuki with 2.
Slavkovsky.
Yes, yeah, him. He's got 1. Evans has got 1. And Dak's got 1. And
Evans,
Carter's got 1. Dobson's got 1.
Yep. Nick Suzuki has 2.
Yep.
He's got 2.
Montreal has some really good young guys.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got their goaltending's an issue though. They got 3 good goalies.
Chicago's off.
Sounds like goaltending isn't an issue then.
They got a good head coach.
Mahasari.
Maton Suzuki.
But yeah, Montreal. I think Montreal, and also too, I think Montreal and Detroit both, young teams that'll be on the rise. I think we all thought Ottawa was going to be that way, but I think they took a step back this year.
Well, and you know what else it is with Ottawa? They're going through issues right now with Linus Ullmark. Apparently, the ownership group, not owners, but like the GM came out and made some snide comments about his family.
Oh,
hear that?
Well, that's hard when your GM attacks you personally.
Right.
Yeah, and he took a leave of absence, and then he came back. He's like, "Oh, this started right after I signed that 4-year extension."
For the first time in more than 18 years, a name other than Mike Modano has a title of all-time at NHL scoring leader among U.S.-born players. Okay.
Wonder who that could be.
Yes.
Gave you 3 guesses. You only need 1.
3. Patrick Kane.
That's the one.
That's the one.
So
Showtime. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Kane's in Detroit, right?
Well, yep. He got it tonight.
Yep. Taves and Kane are both going to be first ballot Hall of Famers, and they'll get their number retired in Chicago.
As they
Yep.
should.
100%.
All the 3 Stanley Cup teams should get their numbers retired by Chicago.
Keith will be there too as well.
yeah.
Keith, Seabrook, Taves, Kane, Marion Hossa,
Who is their
Patrick
goalie?
Sharp,
Who is their goaltender?
Corey Crawford.
Corey Crawford.
Crawford will go.
Yeah.
The only one that might not get his name put up there is Quinville. Because of the whole thing with Kyle
Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of snubbed Hall of Fame, what'd you make about when
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick back in the Hall of Fame?
He shouldn't have gone to Belichick shouldn't have gone to North Carolina.
What does that have to do with anything?
I was going to say that doesn't have anything to do with being snubbed. Hall of Fame.
I mean,
him not being a media darling is probably what kept him out for first ballot.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't even know he was up.
Yeah, he is.
Well, the official announcement is the 5th, and we will have to wait and see what happens between now and then.
Yeah.
If they revote, and he does actually go in, like he should.
So I was watching something earlier on Instagram from this guy that's an Eagles fan, and he was doing his awards for the NFL, and he's like, "Oh, Player of the Year should be Lane Johnson," and I'm like, "Dude, you're an Eagles fan. What else am I supposed to expect?" And then he gets to MVP, and he says Jalen Hurts.
Say what?
Jalen Hurts was nowhere near an MVP this year.
No.
No, well, I mean, they struggled. Philadelphia struggled this year.
I would say MVP's either got to be. Oh, and then he said Offensive Player of the Year wasn't Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
MVP will either be Stafford, May, or a Jigba. Those would be my 3.
Jigba.
I mean, the Patriots are going to have a problem covering him in the Super Bowl, hands down. Yeah. That's going to be Sam Darnold's main target in the Super Bowl. But I would think it was in the NFC Championship game against the Rams. So
you got to put Christian Gonzalez on him, and then have a bracket coverage, have a safety over the top, and make Cooper Kupp and
Bobo or one of those guys beat him.
Yeah. Bobo, one of the tight ends, Barner or Parkinson or Kenneth Walker.
Who's the defensive coordinator for the Patriots? Is it Vrabel? Does he do both duties, or does they have a DC?
Don't forget who it is.
Well, me and Alec picked on his show. I think my pick is Seattle will win 30-28. I mean, even though I love to see the Patriots win another championship,
I also picked the Seahawks.
I just don't think that the Patriots have the offensive firepower to hang with Seattle. That's me. I could be totally wrong. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Trust me, I hope I'm wrong.
Well, we also said the Patriots are going to trade for a wide receiver.
Yeah. They'll draft one. Maybe.
Another N'Keal Harry.
Oh no. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. No.
I'm sorry I had to bring that up.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. No, we're not going to go down that road. No.
Where is, speaking of N'Keal Harry, where is he now?
I have no idea. I don't even be in the pros anymore.
He was a failed first round pick, just like Kevin White was for the Bears.
Well, again, we've talked about that many times on here or with the draft. Even though a guy goes in the first round doesn't always guarantee you he's going to be great. There's a lot of first round draft picks that have failed.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them that have failed.
Trent Richardson.
I mean, there's a bunch. I mean, look at what's his name for the Raiders?
Marcus Russell.
There you go. There's a perfect
Marcus
example.
Russell.
There's a perfect example. First overall.
Damon Arnett, quarterback from Ohio State, went to the Raiders, and I got one. Henry Ruggs.
Ruggs wasn't a bust.
He just needs to stay off the road in Las Vegas. That's the only problem with him.
Yes.
And he's talking about wanting to make a comeback to the NFL.
Well, hey, put it to you this way: Michael Vick could fight with dogs and go to prison and come back. Henry Ruggs, I know what killed that lady and her dog. I mean, again, second chances. People can change. He made a mistake. He had too much to drink.
I'll say this: as long as your name's not Michael Irvin,
well,
who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know about that. Irvin did. He won what?
Performance enhancing drugs.
Lawrence Taylor's in the Hall of Fame, and he did drugs too. He's still doing drugs today. So Lawrence Taylor.
But I might have misstepped a little bit, but Michael Irvin's a little delusional.
Nah, he took a lot of hits as a wide receiver. He played when the league was tough. The league was tough when Irvin played. So
was he the one that tried to celebrate on the star and got his
T.O.
about God? No, that was Terrell Owens. T.O. about got decapitated.
Yeah.
Or decapitated.
So
that was Owens when he was in San Francisco.
Hired former assistant Kevin Stefanski and T.J. Yates to their offensive coaching staff to join Zach Robinson.
T.J. Yates. He's a backup quarterback for the Texans.
Yeah, he's going to be the offensive passing game coordinator, and Stefanski is the senior offensive assistant. So he's going to be the backup to Zach Robinson. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work. Zach didn't do very well in Atlanta. So
take into account who the quarterbacks were in Atlanta.
You had Penix. I'm not saying that Penix is better than Baker Mayfield.
I think Atlanta reached for Penix. Because they paid Cousins all that money.
And then Penix is coming off a knee injury, which he had 2 in college. Both his ACLs were torn in college when he played at Indiana and Washington, right? So, yeah.
2 Big Ten schools.
Well, Washington was in the Pac-12, I think, when he was part of the school. Well, thank you guys both, by the way, for liking my post this afternoon about the credentials for spring training. I figured I would try to see.
You're welcome.
Try to see which. I mean, I would like to cover the Blue Jays, obviously, because they're coming off a World Series appearance. Nothing against the Phillies, but those are the 2 closest to where I live. I'm not driving to Port Charlotte to cover the Rays. I mean, I would love to.
I was kind of debating that the whole day.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. Oh, there's a goal. Kucherov just scored an empty netter.
How far is Sarasota from you?
Sarasota. Well, that's where the Tigers play.
No, that's the Orioles.
Yeah, the Tigers are in Lakeland.
Lakeland. I'm sorry. That's right. Sarasota is probably an hour over the bridge, over the Skyway, which a lot of people don't like to drive on because it's so tall.
Yeah.
It got hit.
I don't know.
It got hit
I
in
just
the
say
80s.
apply to all of them, and then pick the best one.
It goes Lakeland. Lakeland's the Tigers. You got the Orioles in Sarasota. Then you got Fort Myers is the Twins and the Red Sox. Port Charlotte is the Rays. Does Atlanta play down here? Or does Atlanta play out in Arizona?
Grapefruit. Yeah, they play out west.
They play out west.
No, they're in Florida.
No, I thought Atlanta.
Braves, I think they're in Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves, the Mets. The Mets are in Port St. Lucie. The Marlins are in Jupiter. The Cardinals are in Jupiter.
Yes.
Pirates are in Bradenton.
The Atlanta Braves are in Venice, Florida.
Yeah.
Which is in, I think, Venice, if I'm not mistaken, or Northport, Florida, I think is in Central. I think that's Central Florida. Oh, I could be wrong. I'm not sure where Northport is. Let's see.
Right.
North Florida.
And then the Astros are in. They were in West Palm Beach at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the final score, 4-1.
Then is it official?
That's official. Oh no, Northport is actually in Sarasota County. So the Braves play near where the Orioles play.
Oh.
They're in that same general area.
The Astros are in
Houston. I think Houston's out west.
No, they're in Florida.
Oh, no, they're in Palm Beach. You're right. I'm sorry. They're in Palm Beach. Houston's in Palm Beach.
I know the Cardinals, Marlins are in Jupiter. The Mets are in Port St. Lucie.
Yes.
So the Grapefruit League is the Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Tigers, Astros, Marlins, Twins, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, Pirates, Cardinals, Rays, Blue Jays, and Nationals. So that's the Grapefruit League. Is
the Nationals? Where are they in Florida?
The Nationals are in West Palm Beach, down south, near Miami. Atlanta's in Northport. Baltimore's in Sarasota. Fort Myers is where the Red Sox play. Lakeland, where the Tigers are at. West Palm Beach. Jupiter's where the Marlins play. Fort Myers, Port St. Lucie, Tampa, the Yankees, which I guess I didn't even think about that.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, Bradenton for the Pirates are Jupiter. The Rays are in Port Charlotte, Dunedin. Well, Dunedin and Clearwater are like not that far of a drive from me. Not that I'm saying that Tampa is either. It isn't. But, you know. But yeah, I thought about the Jays and the Phillies because they're the closest to me. They're not that far away. But
and then the rest are
Port
in
Charlotte's over an hour.
Yeah, it's
almost an hour and a half.
Port Charlotte's
and
a
the rest
drive.
are in Arizona.
Who's that?
I said the rest of the teams are in Arizona.
Arizona, yeah. Yep.
Which the Guardians and Reds, that makes no sense. Like, how?
They like the weather in Arizona better.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say they like the weather in Arizona better.
I feel like you should have all the American League teams that are outside of like California in the Grapefruit League, and all the National League teams that are outside of California in Arizona, which is the Diamondbacks, in the Grapefruit League, and then everybody else, like the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Padres, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, and everybody else in the National League that isn't in the Grapefruit League is in the Cactus League.
That'd be Arizona teams, right?
Half of the you could leave the Cubs, the White Sox,
The Cactus League is Diamondbacks, A's, Cubs, Reds, Guardians, Rockies, White Sox, Royals, Angels, Dodgers, Brewers, Padres, Giants, Mariners, Rangers. Which some of those teams, it makes sense. You're already on the West Coast anyway, so that makes
Reds.
The Reds are out there too. Reds are in the Cactus League. Yep.
Yes, but logistically, how does that make sense? They're not West Coast.
It doesn't.
And same with the Guardians.
Yeah. Go buy yourself a cactus.
A's make sense. Brewers make sense.
Rockies make sense.
Rockies, Dodgers, Giants.
The Cubs are out there too. So you're talking about the Reds and the Guardians.
The White Sox.
And the Cubs and the White Sox both are out in the Cactus League. So, so yeah, they're both out there.
By the way, on my show this week, we'll have a geography lesson too. So,
Lou's geography lesson.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to sports, you need it very badly.
Yeah, especially in college football.
Yes.
With all the conference realignment. And you got West Coast teams in the ACC.
To put bluntly, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you're all geographically screwed.
Yes. Geographically and royally screwed.
Yeah.
Monsters, John.
Who are the Red Wings playing?
Washington.
At one time, they were in the West, which didn't make any sense.
Yep.
That's just like the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets were in the Western Conference at one point.
Columbus is west of where?
Exactly. Now they're
Detroit.
And then they got both Columbus and Detroit both got moved to the East. Now you have Seattle, Vegas, Utah in the West, and expansion talks are picking up again.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about Atlanta
for a third time.
Yeah. And they're talking about the ownership group this time actually cares. Quotations.
I wouldn't be surprised if Houston doesn't get a team too.
They're talking about Atlanta.
All right, look, let's get one thing straight. Look,
I've heard Portland. I don't see that working.
Well,
and I've heard Cincinnati.
Wow. Any expansion anywhere in any league has to be funded.
Yes.
And you have to have the right people in place to get it done.
Or could you see a team relocating?
That's possible. Look, if a team like LA doesn't really have any snow, or Florida, and they're successful, I say, why not in Seattle? Why not in Portland? Or anything else like that. So, especially going anywhere. But in the case of Atlanta,
the only problem with Oregon is where would you put this arena? Would they share with the Trailblazers?
They would have to.
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Talking about expansion, yeah, it's gonna have to. You're gonna have to have the funding to make that happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna happen. I think both the NHL and I think MLB. Obviously, the strike is looming. But well, let me ask you, Lou, because you're an NBA guy. Do you think the NBA will expand anytime soon?
I don't think within the next 5 years. I mean, I haven't heard anything for the commish, so I think it's going to be a while before expanding, unless they want to bring back, um,
The Sonics.
reform the Sonics. I mean, there has been rumors about that, but lately it hasn't been much. But that would be the obvious choice.
Okay.
Yeah, the Seattle Supersonics, which never should. I mean, they were a very highly respected team, and I think got out prematurely. So I think Seattle will be our choice because there's a lot of basketball fans out there, especially from the old Sonics days. Now the Oklahoma City Thunder. So
Well,
One of the best
problem,
teams in the NBA.
the problem with Seattle with the
yeah,
Supersonics was that they weren't any good. And when what happened was that they weren't any good, and they got moved. And then when Hurricane Katrina happened,
yeah,
the with the franchises now known as the Pelicans, got had to play games in OKC, and that drew huge crowds, bigger crowds than they were drawing in Seattle. So the Supersonics were moved to Seattle or moved to OKC because they were a better fit. So they actually drew because the one-off random year that were they what were they before they were the Pelicans?
The Hornets.
Well, okay, the Hornets. Were the Hornets? Because I thought
Yes.
Charlotte was the Hornets.
No,
Yes.
Charlotte was the Bobcats.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
They brought the Hornets back. That's what they did
Mhm.
after the Bobcats left.
Ooh.
Do you guys want to call it a show right there?
Yeah, I'm good with
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Go, Lou, talk about your show before we get off.
All right. The Internet Sports Show continues on Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. You know we're going to be talking Championship Sunday recap, of course. One was a great game, and the other was the AFC Championship game. You guys get the point on that one. I mean, that was one boring game. NBA All-Star Game lamps. I know I did last week, but we got so involved with the divisional recap. We didn't have time for it, so we'll do the All-Star lamps with the starters and some surprises who did not start. Mm-hmm. I got an NFL update for the Hall of Fame. If you're a Giants fan, you're not going to be happy. Hint, hint.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, I don't spoil it. NHL.
I'm here all week, folks.
Yeah, NHL. Australian Open finals, which are this weekend, and
Aussie.
So I'll be and Pegula blew it again. Oh boy, her dad's not gonna be happy. And NHL, any MLB off-season moves. May have some last-minute Olympic news before the opening ceremony start, and UFC, and maybe just maybe some Pro Bowl information if anybody really cares. Oh, which 95% of America doesn't. Okay, maybe 85%. And of course,
Closer to 99.
Ooh,
yeah.
Of course, our usual features. This week in sports history, I should say this date in sports history, sports trivia, the idiot of the week. I got a few of them. Your thoughts and comments are always welcome.
Can you give us a hint who the idiot of the week is?
No, because I got several of them, so I have it. So you'll have to wait and find out. Because on my show, nobody gets away that easy, as you won't know. 8 years I'm still here. 8 years I'm still here, guys. Actually, make that 10 years.
Lou's here all week, folks.
Also, of course, the Feel Good Start of the Week and our month, and it's the time for the best and worst of January. And that made a tough one to figure out who was the best in January, but I think I got the worst one. So we'll have to. And of course the geography lesson, of course. So remember, 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 Eastern Time, 3 to 5 in the Central Time Zone, 1 to 4 in the West, 9 o'clock in Europe. And like and share the Facebook page. And remember, we're on Facebook Live.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up the show for this week, guys. We'll be back at our normal time again next week, 8 p.m. We will be talking, of course, about the Super Bowl, what happened, Super Bowl review. We'll talk about the Royal Rumble review.
Preview.
The Royal Rumble is on Saturday. We'll talk about that as well. And then I'm sure anything else that will come up between now and then. Again, I want to thank my 3 awesome co-hosts for making this day so great for the show every Thursday. I will see them back again. I want to make a shout out to our men and women of our armed services and our first responders. Yes. Thank you for doing what you do. Without you, we wouldn't be doing what we are able to do. This has been the Walker Report. We are a part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. I am the sports reporter, Bradley Walker. Until next Thursday, everyone have a safe weekend. Peace.
Good night, folks.
Send it.
Good night and good luck. And the Super Bowl.
Thank you, Arden.
Thank you. Super Bowl preview next week.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Super Bowl preview. I'm sorry.